Barney, Can You Sing That Song is a little different to pretty much every other Barney special. This was released originally in 2005, directed by Stephen Feldman, and the set design for this is actually like a game show. We have this giant board game design on the floor, and we have an audience. And ordinarily, I'm not the biggest fan of the Barney specials when we have an audience, especially in these later ones. Not so much with the earlier ones because the clothing the children wear are very nostalgic for my childhood, and the fashion, to use the word loosely, from when I was that age. But 2005, I was 13, not really in the same realm of nostalgia for me. But actually, I thought this was pretty great. There's one thing about it that I didn't love, but because it's mostly about songs, as I've mentioned multiple times, it's the songs with Barney that are the most nostalgic for me. It was pretty delightful. Basically, Barney, Baby Bop, and BJ are playing this board game. There are a lot of questions, obviously quite basic questions that a lot of viewers will be able to at least have a go at guessing, and a lot of it involves guessing songs. For example, I think the first example that Barney gave when they were explaining how to play the game was, what is a song that makes you clap your hands when you're feeling happy? It might not have been as obvious as that, but they're, small descriptions that can help, well, Baby Bop and BJ, the viewers, the audience, work out what those songs are. And then, of course, we get those songs. And the song selection is amazing. I will pick some highlights in a moment, share some thoughts on songs that took me straight back to my childhood. But I will say, first of all, I didn't like the fact that it occasionally cut to clips of children in school or nursery or whatever playing instruments and singing songs, because I feel like it pulls you out of it. It's not so much of an issue, this one, when we're not actually with Barney in the school playground. But as I've mentioned before, the great thing about Barney, or earlier Barney, is that it feels like you're there. Like you're one of the children in Barney's imagination world, playing and learning and having fun. But as soon as you edit in clips of random children doing random things, it removes that magic and it makes it just like any other heavily edited TV show. So I didn't love that, but it's not as bad as it is in other Barney specials. But aside from that, I thought the board game was a fun idea, and I think it's something that could, on a smaller scale, be replicated at home. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if this had been released as a board game. I've got no evidence to suggest it was, but if I found out that it was, well, that would be kind of cool. It seems like a fun game. I love guess the song games. I'm terrible at them. What's it called? Heads Up? Is it called Heads Up? The game where you describe a song, and you know what I mean. But I'm terrible at them, but I love them, and this is obviously a very early version of that. So, great set design, pretty great pacing. It goes kind of through the board game quite quickly. Don't love the edited clips of random children, but I did like seeing the children in the audience singing along. The parents were singing along. It feels like it would have been a really great environment to be in. And sure, the audience weren't dressed in clothing I wore as a child, so that's not quite as nostalgic. But the songs definitely were. So just a few examples of many songs. There were a lot, and I knew most of them, if not all of them. And examples we have, obviously, If You're Happy and You Know It, Taking Turns, If All of the Raindrops, which I absolutely love. We have nursery rhymes like Hickory Dickory Dock, and Old King Cole, which I rather enjoy as well. And some more, of course. They were just personal highlights. I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy this because, as I said, it's a little bit different to the average Barney special. I was wondering if it would still have that same nostalgia for me. It did. It absolutely did. Can You Sing That Song is very creative and definitely can help children to think about questions are being asked, but even if the child is too young or not capable of comprehending questions that look quite like this yet, there are still some great songs. Beautiful set design, really fun concept, definitely very nostalgic in some ways, and really quite delightful.